Okay, so welcome all. Thank you all for attending. My name is Nives. I come from Kovačnica, Business Incubator Kranj, where we have been running a co-working space and incubator for quite some years now. And our co-working has grown into a very active entrepreneurial community. Today, I'm going to share with you some of our experiences with events, what worked for us, what didn't work, why we used events as a main PR channel for Kovačnica. And I really want in the end also to share that you share some of your experiences, because I saw that some of the people who is participating are already managing their co-working spaces. So it will be really interesting to hear about it. But first of all, of course, this Zoom is happening in the coworking.net project. This is a project of a cross-border cooperation between Slovenia and Austria. Our main target from this project is to make rural co-working sustainable. So when we say rural, we mean everything outside the urban centers, where we say that the target groups are smaller, the reach to potential services is harder. So we really want to help these rural co-workings also to thrive, not in just the urban centers, but also in outside areas. Till now, we have already made some analysis of the locations and to see what are the main challenges of the co-workings in rural areas. We developed 5 business models which are more in tune with the needs of rural co-workings, and we already implemented our study tour. These Zooms, there will be more, not just this one. They are part of the activity how to develop more target groups and sources of incomes in the rural co-workings. And we really want to boost the sharing of experiences, maybe even boost the cooperation cross-border of the co-workings in more sustainable way, not just for these Zooms, but maybe some cooperation will happen like a magic, let's say. One also important activity that we plan this autumn, this year, we plan to implement the training for co-working managers. Actually, we didn't see the program like this before, so it will be again for the co-workings outside the urban areas, for smaller ones. But the idea is to, let's say, cover, we now identify 10 topics that are important that each manager in co-workings know. We sometimes joke that the co-working manager is one-stop shop for everything, from cleaning lady, the community manager, the housekeeping, everything. So I really want to finish this Zoom today in 1 hour, just so we just take 1 hour of your time. So I will present our experience in, let's say, 40 minutes or half an hour. And then I hope to get some sharing, as I already mentioned. So I'm going to start to share my screen now. I prepared some small presentation. Okay. And I have to move this. Okay, you should see this now. So some words about Kovačnica for those who haven't heard about us. Well, first of all, okay. Also, there are some photos. This will take time, I think. Okay, you will see it in time, I guess. Some words about Kovačnica. We are part of Regional Development Agency for Gorenjska region. We operate as a co-working and as an incubator, and we are trying to develop entrepreneurial community in Kranj for almost 10 years now. In 2022, this is not working. So we will see it like this, sorry, because otherwise it's not working. It's not working. We'll see, you will look at it like this. I hope you see it. So in 2022, we moved to the new larger premises, to the new building. And today we manage around 1,700 square meters of space available to use for entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial team, freelancers, startup, and also individuals with some entrepreneurial ambitions. In the basement today, we have a small VR AR lab, we have a mini fab lab, and on the ground floor, we have a one-stop shop for our entrepreneurs, and we also have some lecture theater for maximum 80 persons. The first and second floor of this building are designed as combination of smaller and bigger co-workings, and also offices for 1, 2, or 4 persons. Altogether, we can have around 50 people of co-workers in our building. Our focus has always been to create a place where business community will thrive, where people can grow, connect, and collaborate. So what do we do? First of all, it's very important to understand we are considered as a public co-working. So that means that our prices are not market prices. They are subsidized, purposely lower than on the market prices, because we are considered as part of the support system for entrepreneurship in our region. And today we offer much more than just a space. We develop and implement, let's say, entrepreneurship acceleration programs. We organize a lot of workshops. We offer mentoring. We organize different kinds of events, trainings, everything we can think of to boost our region's entrepreneurship. We are also very active in European and national projects like coworking.net. And we try to share our experiences. We try to, where we get some experiences, good practices from abroad. Just a second. And of course, we also, with these projects, we finance our activities. Our aim was never just to offer a chair, a table, but to create a community. And I think that after almost 10 years, we can say that we kind of succeeded in that. Why do we organize so many events? So in the beginning, when Kovačnica started, we really didn't have any promotional money, any. So, but we did have some friends, some colleagues who knew important stuff, and they were willing, as a favor to us, to hold some free of charge workshop to share their knowledge. And this was our main channel for promotion. Via different events of our friends and colleagues, we were actually boosting Kovačnica and their existence. And this, through all the 10 years, stayed the same. We still try to share the good content. We try to listen what it's needed in the region, what the entrepreneurs needs, and events are still a way how do we communicate our value. We develop, let's say, we divide our events in different sections according to the target group. But as I mentioned, we use them for promotion, community boost, and also the expanding of our network. According to this slide, I hope you see, so we have the internal and external events in Kovačnica. They're very meaningful. I mean, you all can already imagine what is the difference between them. So I will talk first about the internal events. As I mentioned, we strongly believe that community doesn't happen on its own. So you need to have some way, some activity, some persons who, at least in the beginning, they try to build community and also constantly working on their active engagement of the members. So we tried during these 10 years many different kinds of events which boost the community, which engage the most co-workers. And this is, let's say, our most used events. So one of the best ones are co-worker breakfasts. We randomly select 3 members of Kovačnica, and they took over the organization of the breakfast. So they set the date, they prepared the content of the breakfast, they took over also the food part of the breakfast, and they finance the breakfast for all the community. So we really push them to take the ownership for these events. And as we don't coordinate these events, we have very different kind of events. We had the evacuation drill and using of the fire extinguisher. We had a short walk to the nearby hills. We had morning yoga. We had battle marketing versus sale. We have vegan breakfast tasting. We had some martial arts. So very, very different kind of events on these breakfasts, because we have, of course, very different kind of users, and they share their knowledge with other co-workers in these events. This one are really nice, are well attended, and people really look forward to do it actually and to participate. The other one are some workshops which are organized exclusively for our members. When some topic emerges, when the need of a few one emerges, we really try to listen and to give them what they need. These are usually the tax topics, some, let's say, actual change of legislation, some legal advices or something like that. And we organize some workshops which are for smaller public, and they are for the needs of our co-workers. We have a lot of, let's say, networking event. That is, we have in the beginning of the summer, we have mandatory picnic, also just for our members and their family members. They are welcome. And it's kind of during the years, this is now expected, and they're not asking, is picnic happening this year? They're just asking when it is happening, because during the summer, I must say that Kovačnica empties pretty much. People take longer vacation, or they start to work more from home because they combine vacation, and our premises are not so full than during the year. Another nice networking event is Secret Santa for our coworkers. We have a lot of parties in December, so we traditionally celebrate New Year in the beginning of January, and we also prepare Secret Santa among our community. And we also, every year, we organize some kids play and Santa Claus visit in Kovačnica for our coworkers' children. So this is also really nice. So we can bring your child to work day. And then we have some other events, let's say. These are the ideas that come from the community. So if they're not too crazy, we try to support them. It's like a joint exercise during the day. It's like tennis, table tennis tournament. We had the idea of dance evenings for co-workers in Kovačnica. It's okay. Only if the ideas are too crazy, then we must say no. And sometimes, believe me, they are. So these are our internal events, only for our co-workers. Oh, I forgot to mention study trips. We always combine the, let's say, the fun and educational components. So we go to see other incubators, co-workings in Slovenia and abroad. We try to connect them with other entrepreneurs who are in similar situations. And of course, we have some fun in these trips. So moving on, maybe you have some questions? No? Okay, so moving on.
Yeah, sorry,
please,
Nils.
please.
What are those crazy ideas that are too much?
One was that we start the dating application or dating event in Kovačnica. These were more interesting for the male part of co-working and strongly not supported by the woman part of co-working. This was one of the ideas. And what was silent disco was also an idea. And the most let's say, often we get the idea that we need to start a coffee shop inside the Kovačnica. We have a coffee shop just across the street of Kovačnica, but of course it's too far. So sometimes we get some crazy ideas, yes. Okay, moving on to external events. Okay, so we divide them in different target groups. We are doing the events for kids and youth. We are doing a lot of educational workshops. We are doing also some networking and promotional events. And we are doing quite a lot also of external collaboration. Regarding the kids, we had 3 years ago, how we started with our Kovačnica Junior program. Kovačnica Junior is for the youth from 11 to 14 years. It's actually the last 3 grades of elementary school in Slovenia. So with them, we started, let's say, entrepreneurial program of 16 workshops. They meet 16 weeks in a row. And we try to introduce them to the entrepreneurship. And of course, in the end, we help them to make a business model canvas. We try to we try to sell some cookies. We have some challenges along the way. Of course, we introduce them also to the business use of the social media. And on the end, they prepare their pitch. And before the parents and teachers, they also give us their first entrepreneurial pitch. This is really nice. The kids are really amazing. And for sure, we will try to continue with this Kovačnica Junior program. And the other activities that we have for not just kids, also for the youth, we collaborate with a lot of schools in our region. So either they visit us in Kovačnica or we go to their schools, not just elementary schools, also high schools. We do a lot of that. We really want to have these really hands-on activities. So encourage collaboration, encourage creativity, teamwork. We talk about the money, which is also really interesting. We talk about entrepreneurship, and we try to put them through some challenges that boost their entrepreneurial spirit, let's say. I would suggest that per year, I would guess that per year we work with at least 600 kids and youth. So this is really, really popular. Also, the schools like to come here, and they like to host us because then they don't have to teach for 1 hour or 2. So besides youth, the most popular events are our educational workshops. These are actually the workshops that are meant for general entrepreneurial public. They are free of charge. They happen every Tuesday or Thursday also. And we try to cover really very different topics. You see here now some ideas, but per year we organize around 50 of these kind of workshops. So you can imagine we are covering really broad content. And very important educational workshops, we consider LIFT. LIFT is our entrepreneurial academy, actually. It's an entrepreneurial acceleration program. So in this one, we accept, let's say, 12 to 15 entrepreneurial teams. They already need to be on the market. They need to have some track record, and they are pushing to their first million of revenues. So with them, we make 8 workshops, very in-depth workshops. We offer the mentoring, external experts. So in the end of the year, in November, they can pitch, and we also provide some money award for the best team. Last year for the 3 teams, this year the money is not so big. We will only reward 1 team. We really try to be actual. We try to listen. We are asking our entrepreneurs, what else would you like to hear? we really want to think out of the box. And the next one we are organizing, we have a, I think okay, we have how to divide business and how to combine business and marriage, and how does this leaves you legally, and all the legal aspects of this one. We had last week, we are also talking with the tax inspector, so he will come and tell us what it's like when you get the visit from a tax inspector. We do a lot of different marketing workshops, so really, really very different topics. Next external events are networking events. Those are the really nice one. So we organize business brunches. We started with those only 2 years ago, but they're so nice to combine free food with some new knowledge and experiences. It's really nice. With municipality of Kranj, last year we participated in their summer festival. So every Friday in the city square, in the city center, you have like open kitchen concept, some food, some drinks, really nice atmosphere. And we offered the space for 2 entrepreneurs each week to introduce themselves, to sell their stuff, to sell their product in this festival. This was really nice, and I think it was really win-win, because we were boosting this sales knowledge for our entrepreneurs, and we were also promoting Kovačnica to the, let's say, target groups that usually maybe wouldn't even come to Kovačnica. One of the events that we really like are fuck up nights. So we really prepare the relaxed atmosphere. Either we meet in winter in some of Kranj's coffee shops. In summer, we meet in our garden. We invite one successful entrepreneur, and the whole evening we're just talking about the fuck ups. So just what did he or she did wrong? What would she do or he would do differently? And we just discuss these fuck ups. So our entrepreneurs see that if you make a mistake, if you fall, you don't need to stay down, you just brush your knees and move on. And if the successful entrepreneurs could make it, they can also. So we have demo days. I already mentioned that. It's the end of our lift project, and 6 of the best teams of the lift project, they have the opportunity to present themselves on demo day. And one event that we all really like is also the Kovačnica birthday, especially because it's a combination of, let's say, of a content and some emotional charge, because we all feel positive about Kovačnica, our team, our co-workers, but we also bring some of the content, and we are really looking forward to November. This year we will celebrate our 10th birthday. Occasionally, I didn't put it on, we also organize some hackathons, but they take up so much of our resources that we're really not fan of it, and we don't really like to make them because the whole team needs to be here whole weekend, and it's hard. And as I mentioned before, we do events as an external collaboration. We are situated in the city center. We have a nice new building, and due to our, of course, location, due to the diversity of our space, we are really very popular for the external entrepreneurs, external services to rent our space. Usually we agree with this kind of, let's say, collaboration. So we have in our garden movie nights, cooking classes in our kitchen, clay workshops. We had some book presentations. We do it's really diverse events. And of course, with this kind of events, we get to We gave the access to the target groups of entrepreneurs which are renting our space, and maybe they wouldn't know about Kovačnica because they promote their classes, their workshops, and they tag Kovačnica along. So we get the access to the new target groups, and of course we help to our cash flow because all these rents are payable, of course. And let's say for the end, I chose the best of 3 events that I think were really very successful. One is the SWI business branch. I believe that to Austrian friends that doesn't mean much. SWI is a Slovenian brand. It's actually owned by the influencer, sports enthusiast Petra Parovil, and SWI stands for It Starts With You. Petra in the last 5 years become a really big influencer for body positivity, for sports, and she's also an owner of their own, let's say, casual sports brand of clothing. So she's really popular in Slovenia. So we decided to have a business brunch with her. You can imagine. She just reposted one of our posts one time, and we had a full lecture room. So this kind of collaborations where you can actually borrow the fame and the people from these influences, you can reach really broad target group. All the marketing related topics, TikTok for business, Facebook ads, Google ads, Instagram, how to make nice product picture with your phone. These are always very popular topics. And of course, as I mentioned before, also the Kovačnica birthday, it's always really nice attended and it's special for us. So I really try to stay in a half an hour mark. I did, good for me. Because right now I would like to hear about your events. What are you planning? What are you doing? What are your concerns? What do you think about? I will stop sharing the screen so we can see each other. Would somebody like to share their experiences? Stefan, did you already manage to do some events in your co-working?
Yes, of course.
Which one were the best?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of test drove several things. We have some that are in hybrid format where we have also streaming input and we do kind of small group work afterwards to discuss the content. And what brings us close to the community here is Jürgen's repair cafes, where a lot of people that normally would not dare to come in show up and get a low key first content with what's going.
Super, thank you, Stefan. I saw Polona. Polona, I didn't see you for a long time. Can you share some of your events? She's here.
Oh, hello, hi. I have bad internet connection, so Nives, it's nice to see you too. It was really long time that we saw each other. So we are doing a lot of events in marketing because our entrepreneurs are really lacking skills, and it was there somehow initiative to make more, I don't know, how can I say it? Things about marketing, lectures about marketing, and then we are having some network launches with our entrepreneurs, and we are doing something about sustainability. So these are our main focuses.
Are there some events, Polona, which would you say that this is something I won't do again?
Okay, let me think. Yes, it was one event, and I was really sad about it because me and Nina, we were trying to get women entrepreneurs together, and on the end, 3 of them come, and it was really a disaster. So
yeah, it happens. Tanya, you also organize a lot of events. What would you say are the winners for you?
Yeah, we organized once in a month our after business co-working event, always with the input from an expert, yeah, we are working on it. Most of the time we are 10 to 15 people there. And we have so many ideas for new events, but we don't have the participants for it, because there are so many events. If you want, every day you can go to another workshop or another event in our region. So it's yeah, a bit tricky to find a special speaker or a very, very interesting topic for this. And yeah, we are working on it. And on every event are some new members, some new interested people, but we are hoping that the room is full with 50 people, not only 10. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is something that maybe I didn't talk about it much. We are not in capitals. We are not 1 million people cities. So sometimes 10 people, but the right one are better for us than a room full of people. Because as I mentioned you, we had Petra Parovel, we had 70 people present on this event, but actually nobody needed any other services of Kovačnica, didn't rent a room here. So yeah, of course they came, but they left, and we need those that they stay. So I think that 10, it's a great success sometimes.
Yeah.
Susan, you also have your co-working. Can you share your experiences?
Yes, yeah, regarding the workshops, it's quite similar to what Tanya said. When we have super interesting workshops, usually it's around 10 to sometimes 25 people. But yeah, same as you said, when there are a few people and they're very interested and you have a good conversation afterwards, it's very productive and people really enjoy it. So I agree what you said. The quality is much better than if you just have a huge audience. But yeah, of course, I think this is also in the beginning of building a community. This is always the part when you still have a small community. It's kind of, you have to keep going. So it takes some time. Yeah, and the big networking events, they are you have more people there, but usually it's also more stakeholders or more people who have bigger networks. So this makes it much easier to get a bigger audience.
Yeah, I agree totally. Susanna, are there any events that you wouldn't do it anymore?
Actually, at the moment, not so far. So it's
good.
Yeah, it's all different, but all in its way, it's always good.
Okay. Tina, did you started with the events yet? In Podlechnik, they have a brand new incubator.
No, still
No?
not.
But you plan to organize them?
Yes, we will start in May, and Lydia pretty help us by this, and we hope that will be great.
Lydia, you also organize quite a few events, of course, not maybe in the co-working, but quite a few entrepreneurial events. Are there some that you would say there are winners and which you wouldn't do anymore?
Well, actually, we always have quite a lot of problems attracting entrepreneurs because they are busy. Our co-working is still at the start at the moment. Okay. So we don't have a co-working community yet. We are working very much on it. But we have always very good response from our secondary school students. They like to come, they like to do things that we are doing with them regarding startup activities, hackathons, and something like that.
Are there some of the events that you wouldn't repeat anymore?
Well, actually, you know, if you're making some high-profile attendees meeting, so that some directors should come or something like that, that makes always some problems, because first they promise and then they are too busy to come and so on. And so I would avoid all the directors, all the very, very busy people.
We had one also interesting experience. We were quite active on the business transfer from the first generation to second generation. So again, mix the family and the business, and how to help the second generation to really to be sustainable, to be successful in this new path. Of course, there are high expectations, and we did a series of workshops for both generation in one room. Well, that was a mistake. We had a lot of laugh, a lot of tears, and almost a fight. So that was, yeah, that was very, very interesting. Okay, I don't want to miss somebody because some of you don't have cameras and I'm not sure if they are there. If does anybody else wants to share something, has a question?
Yeah, hi to everyone once again, Clemens Serna Development Agency. So we also implemented one of the events at the higher professional school. I don't know if that's the right term. There were a lot of attendees and it was on the topic of digital marketing. In Škofja Loka, we are at, let's say, start phase of the co-working, because there is a co-working established, but we are now working on building the community and upgrading the activities within the community. So your lecture, Nives, was really great. But I have at the end one question. How is managing the incubator like Kovačnica? I mean, from the human resources point of view and also from the financial. You talked a lot about the financial resources at the start, which were none, and then building. Where did the energy come? Who is the generator of building the community?
Or maybe somebody else who can also speak. But at the beginning, when we have zero funds and zero personnel, there has to be one enthusiast, like I'm guessing, like it's Stefan, I'm feeling. One enthusiast who wants to change something. In our case, this was me. But you need to know, I was just freshly moved to Kranj. I didn't know anybody. So it was really win-win situation. I had something to do at the evenings and the community needed me to start it. So at the beginning was really hard because there was really no money. Everything was favor-based. Everything was very amateurial. And the Facebook was, well, if I remember to post it, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. So I must say, it's much better when you go through these pains in the beginning and then at least you have some time yourself, or you get a partner or a coworker who helps you. And of course, with the building today, with the fixed cost today, and with the renting out our co-workings and offices and also the external collaboration, I must say that we barely cover the fixed cost. So we crucially need European projects to cover staff costs, to cover the events, because they are not free of charge. Of course, I mean, they're free of charge for our users, but we need to pay them. And without these European projects, we couldn't organize so many events that we have, or even to boost the community so much that we did.
Okay, thank you. Maybe one emphasis from our side in Škofja Loka, where, like I said, we have a co-working space put in place, but we want, like I said, to upgrade the activities, is that we choose the target groups, like high school and higher schools, or secondary, higher schools, higher professional schools, with two reasons. One is the theme, which, like I said, it was digital marketing, and the second is the promotion of Lokomotiva. This is how the co-working is called, so that we, with getting the public to listen to some content, and also try to attract the people who have this entrepreneurial intent or goal to be an entrepreneur, to find a space in Lokomotiva.
I mentioned in the beginning, we are considered as a public co-working. Maybe, Suzanne, you are private co-working, right? Maybe this is a bit different for you.
Yeah, it's very different because we have to charge market prices. So, I mean, the event part actually is all for free at the moment. But same as you said, like in the beginning, like you were doing, we have speakers that we don't, no, actually, we pay them in, for example, they get 1 month for the co-working space. They can have event room for 1 day, or on the bigger room, maybe some discount for an event. So usually they then use it, the speakers, for one of their own events. So like the free event for our members is kind of a promotion also, for maybe they afterwards make some business, or sometimes it's also, like you said, people who are just like who support the idea and who very much want to contribute a little bit, and so it's all of these. But actually, yeah, for the events, we don't charge. We have external events like room rental, and they pay like for the rooms. And yeah, but most of the money needs to come from the co-working itself and the room rental. So these are like half, more or less. And I was going to ask you how much, like, where's the main source of income for you?
Yeah, like I mentioned, with the rents of co-workers and external collaboration, we cover the fixed cost for this building, and we need to pay a rent for this building. Actually, it's not our building. It's a really small rent, but because of the square meters, a lot of square meters, it comes a lot.
Yeah.
And with the prices rising for the electricity and everything, it's getting more and more interesting. Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah, but for the staff, of course, EU projects and most of the activities.
Yeah, for the staff, we are self-employed. We're just like 2 people, and we do this on the side of our other jobs as well.
That's why I think it's so important to really grow a community, so they can all contribute their ideas, their work, their energy, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, Stefan, you are also considered as a private co-working, right?
Well, we were somehow forced into this developing a business model that goes beyond, okay, the municipality pays the rent, and then you are doing kind of an open lab with some co-working spaces. So of course, we also now have to find a mix between charging for workspaces and renting out workshop spaces, plus acquiring projects that are able to cover personal costs and somehow allow for a mixed calculation in terms of the rent for the space.
Fun times. Suzanne, do you also have, we heard in Graz that it's a private co-working with market prices, but the municipality subsidize part of the rent for the entrepreneurs in the city.
Yes.
You also have that, okay.
I don't have that, no. We don't have it. Graz has it. So I think in the first year, they support like with around 100 euro people who are per month, which is good. Which is, usually for Graz pricing more or less half of the rent or a little less, but but it's the lowers the barrier of people trying it and getting to know community and this kind of model.
Yeah.
Is it, I would love to ask you, because you are all also in more rural spaces, like the biggest issue that we usually face is that we have to explain this concept a lot. So it's still that people cannot imagine to work with other people unless they've tried it. Is this something you also encounter, and how do you deal with it?
Tanya, would you like to answer? How is it in?
Yeah, I think not all of the people here in the region know what co-working is. I think sometimes we have to explain it. This is just a flexible office desk, but what is the difference between home office? I can also work at home. What is the plus or the USB when I'm in a co-working space? I think we have a lot of work to do to promote this a bit more. So at the moment, I always want to have this our events in not in hybrid and not in online. Also, that the people come in and see the space. That other people say, "Oh, someone is going inside. What's happened there?" and something else. So we try to promote the space as a place you can come in. And we are there once a week to promote it and have a flag outside and something else and try to explain the people's this companies know what a co-working space is, but I think not the citizens of it or the new or potential entrepreneurs know it.
Suzanne, for Kranj, I would say not anymore. In this regard, Corona helped, because now everybody knows what it's working from home, what it's remote working. Only in this regard, regarding all the other stuff, Corona sucked, of course. But in this regard, but there was in the beginning, it was kind of funny, let's say, as we are part of Regional Development Agency, we have our supervisory board. And after a year and a half, they hold their session in Kovačnica, because I want them to introduce what are we doing, why I'm moving there. I try to explain them what co-working is, what is our vision. And afterwards, one of the members of co-working of our supervisory board was explaining, not to me, to the people around them, that she really doesn't understand what is this Kovačnica about. There are so many young people there, but they're all working on their business ideas instead of working on regional development business, of course. And it's like, I didn't explain it quite well, I guess. So, but now I think that now everybody knows what co-working is. Yes, I don't have this problem anymore. Okay, I promised you that we will try to end in 1 hour. So just before you go, we have already scheduled the next Zoom, which will be in the beginning of June, 3rd of June. This time, Tanya will guide us into the world of the strategic partners. Tanya does that really good. I really want to learn how to do that. So if you want to join us, we will send you the registration links. We don't have it yet. And before you go, I would like to ask you just 2 short questions. It's really not painful. Please answer to our short questionnaire. And if somebody else wants to add something, wants to make some recommendation, please, now is the time. If not, I would really like to thank you all for joining us, for attending this one. We made a record. I can also send you the record if you need. I can send you the presentation if you need. Tell me.
Yeah, I would
Grazing.
kindly ask you to send the presentation with us, please.
Sure. Suzanne, sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, same for me. Would be
Okay.
great if you could send the presentation.
I will.
Thank you.
Stefan, please.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the target audience of these short workshops is, and whether additional people from Corinthian co-working / makerspace community would be welcome, because I was a bit hesitant in passing on the invitation on short notice, but for the next meeting we have a little bit more time to maybe engage additional people.
Share the invitation. The more the merrier. I think that more people that they're sharing their experience, the better. As I mentioned, it's targeted. We try to compete with the bigger co-workings, with the co-workings in rural areas, and set the models, set the experience and knowledge how to succeed with the co-workings in rural areas, not just in urban. So whenever you would like to invite, please do so. And maybe you saw one of the questions is, what is the next topic? We will finish till the summer. On the 3rd of June, we will finish, but then we come back in the autumn with new topics and something that you find interesting and maybe you struggle with. I already saw when you were registering also the marketing, which is also a very interesting topic. Marketing of the rural co-working, that would be also something nice. So thank you very much. I will send you the presentation. I don't think you don't need a video, but it will be also published in our webpage. And in the meantime, you also have here our contacts. If you need anything, if I can help anyway, please be my guest. So thank you again and have a nice afternoon.
Neves, thank you
Thank
also
you.
too, and
Bye-bye.
congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.